Just after 9 minutes past 9, we are in Austria. The sound of music is upon us. We are all dancing in skirts and lederhosen. We are here, though, for a no-assist race, our no-assist league, tier 0, as the French would say. Red Bull Ring, fast circuit, shortest track or shortest lap time on the calendar. We're going to be looking at some 104s this evening, so let's see who can bring that on. But joining me for this evening, where it is raining outside, I have just stuck my head out and can see that there are water droplets falling from the sky. But joining me this evening is a man who I haven't commentated with for a long, long time. It is always entertaining. It is never dull. Welcome back, my good friend, Mr. Simba. How are we, sir?
Good evening, Gavin. How are we today?
Oh.
Rain in the hills, and the hills are alive with the sound of us too.
Well, exactly, and the hills will be alive of screeching tyres and screeching V6 engines. But just bringing you up to speed on where we are in Tier 0, we have a Bobo that is in the lead of the championship. He is currently on 50 points. He won the first 2 races. Then we've got Anton. He's from Spain. He's on 36 points in second, and then we've got Arma Red, who is third and is on 27 points, with Alpine in the Constructors' Championship. So there we go. Well, Triz has already been disqualified. That's went well.
That's always a good start. You're not supposed to drive into the wall of the pit lane.
Nope, Lego
Just
Lancer.
saying.
Who's Lego Lancer? Hello.
Not sure.
I thought it was just going to be someone we knew, but obviously not.
Well, it's probably someone from the league, just not someone I'm familiar with.
True, that is very true.
He was commenting a lot last week when I commentated with Mr. Hodgson, so he's obviously a regular.
Yes, that is true. He could be Mr. Hodgson in disguise. But anyway, here we go. Opening laps. I was on comms on T2 the other day when my mic didn't work. Well, I didn't know you were on comms because I couldn't hear you.
Fair enough. Looks like Drag King will be the first one to set a lap. Just coming round at turn 7 and 8.
Indeed, he's having a little bit of a slow lap, but on the inters. So let's see what we can do. The two Aston Martin side by side. We're going to jump on board with G-Star, little G-Star. I'm not happy that Fake Connor isn't racing tonight, but Drag King coming out of the final corner, got that opposite lock on. But now coming down into turn number 1, and again you've got to get this right, otherwise you will invalidate your lap. He's done it well. There's no DRS, but running all the way down, usually hitting around about 315 kilometers an hour. 8th gear. He's in 7th. He drops it now down into 2nd gear as he comes across turn number 3. Then looking to fly down into turn 4 again in the next major overtaking zone. We'll keep an eye on what he does now, breaking down into 4. Keeping it go. Good, there we go. T0 can't really escape the rain. Nope. It's permanent. And now swinging through turns number 6 and 7, end of sector 2, sorry, just coming up as we come now. Swinging now into 7, normally 6th gear in the dry, but 4th gear in the slight moist conditions now, coming all the way down to turn number 9. Let's see if he lifts. He should. He does. Well done. And then coming into the final corner, turn number 10. Let's see what he does as he comes across the line. A 1:15.4.
Speaking of moistness, I've just jumped over to have a look at what Baby Hornet is doing. We know how he loves the moist things and all things associated with the word.
Well, he does indeed. Anton has just said good luck with comms. He is Spanish today. Sam Plans went quickest, 1:15.0 in the McLaren. But yes, I'm on board with the young Hornet.
That's a very luminous coloured car.
Very.
A Formula W44 sets 1:13.6. Best lap we've seen so far. What can Junior Hornet do?
See, he comes across that final corner. He's doing not too bad for someone who struggles to drive. Comes across the line into second. So
1:14.7.
Yeah, exactly. Good time there. Let's see what Bobo can do. He's just coming through sector 2. Oh, front end's nasty there.
See who else have we got on laps at the moment while you watch on with Bobo. In fact, I'll have a look at his teammate, Armar.
Yes, the two Alpines, first and third in the championship, first in the constructors. Let's see what Bobo can do as he comes across the line. Goes into third, so not a bad lap time from the man. Anyone else interesting? Sam, he's went 6th. And you were on board with his with Arma.
Yep, he's just coming through turn 4 now. I'm not really sure on his sector times at the moment, but he's definitely handling these moist conditions very well.
Yep, well, his teammate got a 50 at the end of sector 2, and he is on a 51.1, so he's probably somewhere in the 8th or 9th at the moment. We're on board with him in the pink and blue Alpine.
Let's see how he does for turn 9. Not as much of a lift as Drag King, but obviously you've got to lift massively there in these conditions.
Gets the front nice into turn 10 there. He's going to come across the line into the 14s. Yes!
14.1.
Yeah, good lap.
Not a bad time at all.
No, exactly. We've got one of the Hasses who's invalidated.
I wonder if people have done the usual wet trick and fueled up a few laps and just keep going until you get something better.
Possibly, although I've just seen... I went to Nell's and couldn't quite figure out why we could see no car but just the advertising hoardings. Then figured out he went into the gravel. So, but you know who I am just jumping on board with just now? Our very young Navy boy. He's not in the Navy, but we'll call him in the Navy. Stu. In the Navy. So let's see what he can do. He's Red Bull.
I'll have a look at him in a minute. I'm just watching Formula. Improved his lap by nearly half a second. So he's clearly done the usual fuel up for a few laps and just keep going, because as the track dries it becomes quicker anyway. The inters don't degrade as fast as the softs usually do. So you're doing 1, maybe 2 laps and then you're back in the pits.
Yeah, exactly.
Game over at that point. You're on like 12% tyre wear.
Yeah,
I did it yesterday. I did out lap, fast lap, cool lap, fast lap, in lap, and I was 12%.
Yeah.
By that point, you're not getting much out of your tyres.
No, you're not. Stu had a little bit of a moment there at turn number 4. He kind of drifted wide. Front end wasn't biting as much as we would expect, but now coming down through 6 and 7. Again, the front is very much oversteer, sort of very much understeer there. 52.2, so he is around about a second and a half slower than Armagh. Bobo's went quickest, 12.8.
Wow.
He's thrown down the gauntlet.
This track will continue to ramp up over the next 10 minutes and everybody will start to find the confidence. These times will tumble. I do wonder if we'll see a sub 1 minute 10.
I didn't realise, so Stubbs just went 11th, but I didn't realise that the two Hornet brothers are in the same team.
Oh, of course, Team Hornet. And Stubby seems to currently be providing the Elder Hornet with a nice little tow on the way to turn 3.
Yes, we're on board with Dan the man in the Ferrari. Let's see what he can do.
Why is turn 2 called turn 2? It's a little kink in the road, it's not really a turn, but that's an argument for another day.
Oh, there's many of those on the circuits around the world where kinks are called corners, which they really aren't, but anyway. Dan's going to do a
Jeddah
16.
springs to mind.
Yep. Oh, 1:16.8 for him. Smith is taking the route of, going off track. Let's see now.
The lawnmower.
Yes, the lawnmower, that is exactly. Well, the lawnmower that isn't the grass. But yeah, let's see what Nels can do. He does a 52.0, so he's around about 10th at the moment. If he does continue.
Dumbest Hornet is pitting. He's not having another crack.
Yep, Baby
see
Hornet
what Nels is doing. The only guy that seems to be on the lap that hasn't set a time yet.
Yep, I think he's going to do around about a 1:14, I would say.
15.
Yep, 50.
Must be invalid.
Yep, no, he did. He just jumped up to it defaulted to 1:18. but it was
Yeah, I
actually a
saw
150.
that, which is why I thought it was probably invalid. But no, like you say, 115.1 on par with his teammate.
Yep, Sam
Good old
Plan.
Stubalicious.
Sam Plan is fractionally quick at the end of Sector 1, 71 thousandths of a second.
Oh, look at that beautiful car he's driving as well. It's nice to see they put it back together if that's mine, because it ended up in a wall yesterday.
Nah, I couldn't race yesterday, so mine stayed dry.
It didn't. Somebody was driving it. Although we didn't have any rain, so it did stay dry.
Oh, that's it, exactly. There we go. It is beginning to look like there is a dry line beginning to form, but I don't think it will form quickly enough for...
I don't think we'll get dry tyres unless we get somebody very daring, but...
No, Sam Plan's on
obviously the
6.
times will continue to tumble.
Yep, and he goes 4th. Armour Red is 0.2 of a second quicker at the end of Sector 1, so he is continuing to go quicker. Let's see what they can do.
Sabia's not having much luck with connection tonight. He's been in and out, in and out, in and out.
Shake it all about.
Is he doing the hokey cokey?
And then turn around. And here we go, and this is what Armour Red will be saying. He is going to turn around and say, that's what it's all about, as he goes to the top of the timesheets. That was like perfect.
Nice
timing.
lap.
That was perfect timing, that.
I didn't even realise Armour was on such a good lap, so yeah, that was to be fair.
It was, although Formula W is just under 0.2 of a second quicker at the moment, so again, keeping an eye on him as we go in the RB. Let's see what he does at the end of Sector 2. So as you said, the circuit is really beginning to ramp up. 49.8 is 4.5 tenths quicker. This is going to take him top of the timesheets at present. It's an Alpine 1-2, but is it going to be an RB1 Alpine 2? If he can hit 9 and 10, spot on, jumping on board with him as we come down into 10. Throws that car in, rear slips out a little bit. He's going to come across the line into the 12s. Yes, he does. 112.3.
That was a massive improvement and just proves how much this track is currently ramping up.
This is where Drag King is 64 1,000ths of a second quicker at the top of the hill, coming now down into turn 4. Let's see what he can do as he comes through to turn number 6 and 7 at the end of 2. Oh, had a little bit of a moment there.
I'll have a quick look at the YouTube chat while you're following along. Legolance's is very chatty today.
Very chatty. See, he's making up for what he couldn't do on Monday. 0.2 of a second quicker as Drag King, so this would potentially put him up to 4th as we say. He's purple in 2. Should have just seen a flash of lightning as well. Nicely done in 9, hits it there, doesn't go too wide. Into 10, is he going to be able to go into the 13s or the 12s even? Yes, he does. 112.8, 4th across the line, and it's all happening. Our Sam
certainly is.
Although
the thing that's not happening that I'm really disappointed about, I actually put the first like on this stream about 30 seconds ago and somebody else has followed suit. We have 2 likes.
Yes, there we go. Rassam MFEO had a little bit of a moment, but is he going to go quicker? He does. He goes 2nd. Great lap from him. We are capturing all
Baby
of the
Hornet
laps.
is currently 6/10 up.
I was just about to say, we are catching all of the action here, folks. See, perfect commentary team here. Capturing all the action, coming through the pipe. Oh, he's really run wide at the tail end, and he's just bailed on that. He has indeed. Let's see what Nels can do as he comes to the top of the hill. Is he going to be able to improve his time? He doesn't. He's 3 seconds down, so we won't continue there.
G-Star is 3/10 up at the end of Sector 1. I will keep an eye on him and see how he does.
We'll jump to him in a second. Dan's going to go across the line. Is he going to go any quicker? Yes, he does. He improves his time, but 2:8, 1 minute 15. Let's jump up to the Aston Martin of G-Star. Mandy's now said 4. Blurred Magic is also on. Let's see what G-Star can do. This is a bit like Soccer Saturday with Jeff Stelling back in the good old days, where you and me on, we could literally just tracking everything.
Yep.
And here we go. We've got Red Bull off the track. He's 4.5 tenths up. This is potentially going to bump him up ahead of Baby Hornetto. Formula W quickest 111.8 now. That is a superb time.
Come on, G-Star. 2 corners left. He's 4.5 up. What can he do in these final corners?
He's been beaten by many G-Star.
A little bit wide on turn 10, but doing all right. What's the time?
Not bad.
Full second.
Yeah, not bad. Samplan is 2/10 of a second quicker than his previous lap time at the top of the hill. He did get a little bit of a wobble though, coming out of turn number 3 into 4. Nicely done. Let's flip on board with that McLaren. He does seem to be struggling though, so he is on lap 7 of those intermediates. He does have fuel on board. So that might explain some of his pace, but let's see what he does at the end of sector 2. Is he going to be able to get into the 50s? Yes, he does. 50.2, half a second quicker. This will put him provisionally up into 5th. Let's keep an eye on what he's doing. Flipping it into 9 right now. Nice.
Looks like Wycant got a little bit blocked there on his attempt at a fast lap.
We'll have a look at him in a minute.
He ran a little bit wide, he's bailed the lap, he'll be starting again shortly.
Second, 1.2 seconds quicker. Let's have a look at Saviour, who has joined us but has invalidated his lap. Anton is here, coming now down into sector 2, but as he is slow. Dumbest Hornet is on a quick lap, but he's got traffic in front of him. He is a 1.5 quicker though. The track is getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Possibly, we're going to see some slick tyres. Someone might do it because it isn't raining anymore. Let's see what Hornet can do as he comes through 9.
Speaking of which, I think Stu may be looking at having a go. He's sat in the pits with a set of softs on.
There we go. Hornet had the more senior Hornet had a huge moment, but he improves his time to 9th. He's above his brother. G-Star is a 10th up at the top of the hill. Keep an eye and let us know if anyone goes out on the slick tyre.
Yep, I'm keeping a good eye on that and just seeing what people are doing at the moment.
G-Star is running quicker at the present moment. Let's see what he can do into sector number 2. Circuit is drying. Throw a set of softs on, people.
Stube is coming out on softs.
Throw a set of softs on and go for it, people. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
There's not many that are in the pits that can actually do it.
Yep, 6/10
Rassam's coming back out on intermediates. The only ones who could do it now are Seb Mail and Formula W.
G-Star's about to go into the top 3 if he continues the pace on this lap as he comes through turn number 9 and into now 10. Nicely done. He's going to floor the throttle in that Aston Martin straight to the line. Is he going to be able to get into the 12s? Yes, he is, and he's going to go 3rd. He goes across the line.
The only one risking it is Stu, but it's just had a bit of an adventure at turn 4 on his out lap.
Hodgie, hello. Saviour goes quickest, 1:11.4 in that RB. He goes straight to the top. It's an RB 1-2. It was an Alpine 1-2 for a while, but Armat is in 6th and Bobo's in 7th. He's not going any quicker at the present moment in time. We'll keep an eye on Stube on his outlap. Track is dry.
He's drifting all over the place and making a bit of a meal of it. I don't think it's going to work.
So he's doing typical Navy things. Let's see what Bobo can do as he comes across the line. Bobo is going to go quicker. Is he going to beat Saviour? No! He was actually lost.
Armad does.
Armad does though. Wow, Bobo must have invalidated towards the end there. Sam Flan, let's see what he can do. He's coming through the final corner. Is he going to be able to go into the 11th? Yes, he does. 1:11.7. Let's see, top 3 for the McLaren tonight. Formula W's on a quick lap. Let's see, who else have we got? We've got Ferrari coming towards the tail end.
Stube is actually giving it a go though.
Yeah, Anton's on a quick lap. Let's jump on board with Stube. Let's have a look at him as he comes up to the top of the hill. Is he going to be able to get the grip to brake? He's slightly slower than his previous. He's taking it very gingerly. Like a cat on the hot tin roof. DRS isn't on yet. Let's see what he does at the end. We're at the end of qualifying. At the moment, your top 10 and top, 19, 20 is at the left-hand side of your screen. Stube runs wide in turn 4. We're going to bypass him. We are going to see Arma Red isn't going to go any quicker. Sam Flan isn't going quicker. Formula W is going quicker by half a second at the moment. So he could potentially jump up into 2nd and make it another RB at the top of the list. We'll keep an eye on him. Anyone else making movers or shakers?
And 49.6 at the end of sector 2.
Wow. Let's see, Formula W is going to come across the line. He was weaving his way. He's going to come across the line. Goes into 2nd. Great lap from him. Let's now jump down to Anton. Is he going to get quicker? Will he get quicker? Can he do it? Can he get into the 10s? He's not going to get into the 10s, but he is going to go 11th. He's going to go into 4th place. And there we have it. That is your
Not bad to say you only got one lap at it, really.
No, exactly. That is your top 20 Armagh Red, it is an Alpine on provisional pole. Remember, for a long while it was an Alpine 1-2. It's an Alpine 1-8, our championship leader, only down in 8th place. So Armagh Red takes pole position. Formula W and Saviour make it an RB2-3, and we will bring the rest of the times as we go through. But that track just got quicker and quicker and quicker towards the end. It was just unfortunate it wasn't quite that cutover period for Stu. But let's just have a look. So Formula W is the second, Saviour third, Anton in fourth, with his pretty much only run of the game. MJ is in fifth. Michael Jackson is back, ladies and gentlemen. The younger Hornet is in sixth place. Rassam is in seventh. Bobo is in eighth. Samplan in ninth. He was up there at the start as well. G-Star up into 10th. GTS Drag King, his little G-Star Mini, is in 11th, and he'll be starting right behind him. Loppy is in 12th. Dan is in 13th. Vitalso is in the Haas in 14th, and we'll then pick up the rest of it. But that is bringing a very interesting grid for this race. And what will be curious, and we'll have a 5-minute break, is it's dry.
It looks dry.
It is indeed.
I wonder if that's why people were a bit slidey then. They didn't alter the setups knowing it was a dry race coming.
Some of them were absolutely slipping and sliding. So
they're clearly low downforce setups, which means they'll be really quick in the sectors where you need to be quick.
They 100% will be. Very short circuit. Pretty much open to safety cars. Undercut is powerful here. DRS, 3 DRS zones down the pit straight. From turn 1 all the way through turn 2, kink into 3, and then from 3 into 4. So you can very much get DRS trains with plenty of overtakes are possible. No rain by the looks of things, although it does look a little bit cloudy. So we'll need to keep a close eye on that. But let's talk about a couple of things which are kind of coming out as we speak. So rumours abound that Max is going to Mercedes.
Yes, that seems to be everywhere at the moment, although
there's some questioning about the sources, especially where apparently it's went to the board of Mercedes-Benz, and I'm not quite sure if they're on board.
Although Christian Horner's disputing it and saying, well, he's got a contract till 2028.
Although apparently the clause in his contract, if he doesn't finish in the top 4 of the championship, he can leave. Now at the moment,
if you don't give him a championship contending car,
yes,
he's allowed to leave without any penalty.
Yes, which would be interesting. Again, though, if you're Toto Wolff, and again the rumours are abound that George is going to go to Aston Martin and replace Lance Stroll, which I don't think anyone would say is a bad move. I mean, Lance has had his time more than he deserved.
Problem is, Daddy owns the team.
Yeah, but if you...
Or a big stake in the team.
Yes, but if you've got someone like the calibre of George Russell, you are going to take that option. You're not going to throw it away to keep Lance Stroll, who... Well, there's only one definitive in Formula 1, and that is Lance Stroll will crash.
The one I am surprised about is Aston Martin aren't trying to get Max themselves. They have Adrian Newey.
They do, however, if you... this is very reminiscent of 2012 in Hamilton. Max will have been taken in by Mercedes and shown probably under an NDA what was happening in high performance powertrains. So the Mercedes, what was formerly Ilmor. And Mercedes, given the engine, can then build a car that suits the engine. And we already know that it's going to be an engine-dominated regulation set, ultimately. So, and does he have the confidence that actually the Ford Red Bull powertrains will deliver? I mean...
That's the problem with the Red Bull, but you aren't Aston Martin getting the Honda power unit that he's very used to.
Yes.
Which also for me would be another pulling point to Aston Martin. You've got the designer who wins championships quite well and is responsible for all of Max's.
Yep.
And you've got the engine that he likes.
Yes. However, you do just have this thing of would he be partnering Fernando Alonso? And I don't think he doesn't want. I'm not going to say a strong teammate, because I think the only person that is slightly stronger than Max is potentially Hamilton. But I would say Hamilton 4 or 5 years ago, not now.
No, not Hamilton now. He's still good, he's still world class, but he's not what he was.
No, he's very much, and I said this last week or the week before, he's in the twilight of his career. He's not gone to Ferrari to win an 8th world title. And and there's a lot of detractors of Bernie Ecclestone. But Bernie said it pretty frankly at the weekend, where he said Hamilton won't win an 8th world title. And actually, he was lucky that he won the titles he did because there was no competition. And that is true. There was no competition in 40, apart from his own teammate. And even after Rosberg, there was no competition in his own teammate. But again...
Other than, what was it, 2018, 2019, when Ferrari came quite good.
Yeah. Although you look at 19 and you say, well, Ferrari's undoing was Spa, when Leclerc set pole and won, and that was when the whole questions over the oil and the burn rate and everything came into fruition. But you watch him now, and he's surrounded by competitors, and he is average. He's not. I mean, the only reason he got 4th in Austria at the weekend was because Max didn't finish, Antonelli didn't finish, and well, Yuki was in another continent.
Yuki was being Yuki.
Yeah, exactly. But again, you sit there and go, it's not because Hamilton's coming out and saying, oh, it was amazing, Ferrari, amazing. No, it wasn't. It was pure luck. The Mercedes...
And he finished like 12 seconds behind his teammate.
Yeah. And yes, he finished ahead of Russell's, but we know that the Mercedes car is susceptible to higher temperatures. So on the basis that the British Grand Prix this weekend, if it is generally cold, then the Mercedes will come alive.
It is supposed to cool down at the weekend as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's going to be a McLaren and Mercedes domination this weekend.
Yeah, I don't see anything else apart from it. It'll be curious to see what the Williams do after a kind of double disappointment at the weekend. Sainz had his own barbecue early on.
Yeah, they've really dropped off.
They have.
The last few races, it's quite disappointing because they were coming really good.
They were, and I think there's still performance there to an extent, but I don't think it is. I think they will drift off towards the end. Although if you look at the championship and you've got the likes of Sauber now starting to come together, and again, is that the Audi influence, etc. So.
Yeah, I mean, how impressive is Bortoletto being for a rookie?
Oh, very much, absolutely. Right, they're getting lined up. We've got an RB in second, an RB in third, an Alpine on pole, and a Spanishman and a Ferrari in fourth, and Michael Jackson in fifth.
Here comes Seb Mayo, just about to make his grid slot, so we should have some lights any time. Yep, he's in his slot now. There we go.
We've got the green flag. Here we go. It's one red light. We'll get to the 5. And at that point, now we're underway, and it's a really good start from Arma. He is managing to beat Formula W and coming down into turn number 1. The Ferrari is there. Stoops just left the session. Unfortunately for him, he's been disconnected. Everyone seems to have got through turn 1 correctly. There is 2 abreast, at some point 3 abreast coming through. Baby Hornet is making moves up the inside as he is taking over Michael Jackson. Oh, he had to brake really there, otherwise right into the back of Anton. Arma is in first, Formula W is second, but look, Formula W into the leads.
And there's a few positions swapping around. Triz has had a good start, he's up 3.
Yep.
Other than that, it's like 1 up, 1 down.
Yeah,
in a few places, but
Rassam and Bobo are having a little bit of a battle coming through from turn number 4 and into 5, and Rassam was going to try coming down through 6 into 7, but didn't quite work for him there. But still good for there. But remember, DRS will become active at the end of lap 1 after a safety car, 1 lap after DRS becomes active if you are new. If it's a virtual safety car, then DRS is activated as soon as that ends. Let's now see.
Stubalicious is back, he just needs to take control of his car.
He does, on board with Arma Red as he comes through turn 1 now. He is going to get DRS. He is looking to sail past his rival Formula W. And there he goes, past the RB, no defence there, but let's see what he does as he comes now into turn number 3, because it will be Formula W that gets the DRS coming out of that. Let's have a look at tyres just whilst we're there. Everyone on the mediums bar from Samplan, Dan, Dumbest Hornet, Smith, Seth Nail and Nels. Formula W stays behind Arma Red coming down into turn number 4.
I don't think Seb's in his car either.
No, he's ghosted. So no, he isn't.
Stube is now back in control.
He is indeed. Arma Red.
Unfortunately, he's got 5.5 seconds to make up now, so he's got some work to do.
He does. Looking back from Arma Red, he's got the 2 RBs behind him. That will give Formula W the DRS as they come down the start-finish straight. Remember, he will be utilising his battery as best as he can.
I've got to ask, what is Baby Hornet doing up in P5? Getting very leery coming out of turn 1. There we go. 6, 7. Yeah, we're going back to normal. I thought he was going to get vertigo for a minute.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing, Formula W was almost pushing Arma Red into turn number 3 there. But it is, you could throw a towel over the top 3, and Anton the Spanishman is coming up to make that 4 for a towel. But again, if you're, I'm going to come back to this, if you're Formula W, if you're Saviour, you could quite happily just sit in the DRS range of Arma for a while, save your battery, knowing that Arma's going to have to really dump his battery, and then go and overtake him potentially before the first round of pit stops.
You could do, yeah. Well,
That'll be interesting.
What were the tyres?
Tyres.
Pretty much everyone's gone the same way, other than what, 5 started on hards. Nels doesn't count because he's already pitted.
Yep.
But pretty much everyone started mediums then.
Yep, Bobo fastest man, 106.9. Is he now looking to make moves up into 5th place? He is going to gain. Now let's look at this. Anton is there, but Formula W, is he going to make the move? He does. And there he goes. And look, his teammate's going to go up the long side as well. Saviour trying to go up the inside and does manage it. Gets up into 2nd place. But remember, no DRS for our leader, Formula W. Looking back from the rear wing, we've got the RB gaining. Is Saviour going to make a move up the inside? No, he doesn't. And Arma Red doesn't either. And Anton is there. And then Bobo just lurking.
Never give Saviour a sniff, because you give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
Well, indeed. Let's jump back. Let's have a wee look at the battle between Baby Hornet, who is drifting very wide there, and Rassam Mafufo behind him. Then we've got the 2 Aston Martins, G-Star in 9th, Loppy in 10th, and Sam Plan in 11th. Michael Jackson is beginning to join this gaggle with Bobo. Anton is there as well. Coming now down into turn 1. Let's see, Formula W in the lead. Let's jump on board with Arma in the Alpine. Let's see what can happen. Uses his ERS already, has the rear wing open. He's staying out of the slipstream slightly. Saviour is flashing at us, so saving his battery. Doesn't make a move on his teammate. Oh, and around the outside, Anton in the Ferrari is going to try and go into 3rd, and he has. Arma on the right hand side. Anton, the Spanish man, on the left hand side, quicker going through. And Arma has dropped from 1st to 4th in a matter of laps. And Bobo, championship leader, right behind him.
I like that outside move at turn 3 myself. Me and Wookie went in there yesterday side by side, and you get a good drag off the outside.
Oh, you 100% do. What will be more curious now is I want to see what these 2 RBs do and what Anton does. Arma's there, Bobo's right behind him. I don't see Arma letting Bobo through, certainly not at this point in the season. Anton What's he going to do with this? Let's see. I mean,
If the RBs are clever, they would work together, but it is very hard and can destroy your race very quickly around here.
I thought you were going to say if they were clever, but they're not. But I'll tell you one thing, Saviour's not waiting. He's passed even before the climb up the hill, and Anton's going to go around the outside. Oh, he had to get out of it there because Formula W came back on it, but he's going up the inside slightly. A little bit leery out of there for Formula W, but he's got the DRS and he's going to gain. He is gaining, as you can see, he's going to make a move up the inside and come down into turn number 4. No, he doesn't, he stays behind.
See, all the while they're doing this, if they play it clever, it will block Ant.
It will, yes, but they have
if
to
they start
get
battling
clever.
too much, then Ant will just go bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way, right? The gap between 1st and 9th is 3.8 seconds. They are literally together, and actually this works really well for the two RBs. They are really...
One of the biggest gaps is actually the two RBs.
Yes, exactly. 0.8 of a second. Formula W is going to be really struggling if he doesn't get back within that second of Saviour. He should do. He's got DRS, so he will gain. I mean, you can see how quickly he's gaining there, almost 0.4 of a second in the matter of one straight. But let's jump on board with Anton. Let's see what we can do. Samplan and Lockie, who exchanging positions down at the pit straight at the present moment. Let's see what Anton does. Formula W is getting within 1/4 of a second of his teammate, but doesn't make that move at this point in time. Arma and Noble aren't making much moves either. There's a DRS train. We're coming now out of 3 and into 4. You're really hitting around about 330 kilometres an hour. 8th gear coming now slamming down into 4. At turn 4, 175, and the two RBs continue out front.
We have our first penalty for Vitalso, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Nothing else really doing at the moment.
One of the Hasses has spun, I think it is Vitalso as well, at the top of the hill.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, let's keep an
Must
eye.
have got a little area on that traction, and he's paying the price for it, unfortunately.
They're down. The top 9 is now 4.2 seconds. Formula W 0.7 of a second, but Formula W loses a lot of his time between turns 9 and 10. So actually, you just wonder, is he a little bit less on downforce, because he does seem to be really quick. 1.2 seconds covers 1st to 3rd. All DRS, but it's now starting just to pull out a little bit. But look at those two Alpines.
Yeah, they're
and one of the Alpines.
To tail.
Ooh, yeah, sorry.
Drifting from out there.
And the two Alpines bumped into each other. A little bit of contact there. Doesn't look like any damage to the front wing. Dumbest Hornet has passed Loppy and passed again and been repassed. And the Dumbest Hornet has passed Samplan, who's dropped down into 12th. But yeah, the Anton got Larry out of turn 3.
He got Larry on the way in.
Well, there we go.
He sort of drifted his way into it and then had to recover. Armar tapped the back of him.
Yep.
Bobo's tapped the back of Armar. It was like a concertina effect.
It was. Looking at Loppy, Dumbest Hornet, we'll keep an eye on the top 2, but they've been exchanging places very quickly. Sector 2, we've got one of the Hasses, and that's Triz, I think.
Again,
was it Vitalso? Oh, possibly. But again, we'll keep an eye.
Triz, sorry.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on the leaders, but let's just have a look at this battle we've got with Dumbest Hornet, Loppy and Samplan. We'll keep an eye on the top 4 and the top 9 as we go through, but let's allow to see some of the other action that we've got on at the moment. Nobody's really making any moves at the top. The gaps are staying relatively consistent. Let's see now, though, because Samplan is looking at it. Anton up into second.
Formula's just had a big moment coming out of 3. He's lost 2 positions so far.
Yeah, we're going to jump back to that. See, we did have a look at some of the other racers, but let's jump back up to the front because we cannot take our eyes off this 40 seconds as I have a sip of my complimentary Red Bull. Gives me wings.
I'm glad you like it. Here, on mine. I don't like this stuff.
There we go. I've just taken it. Formula W needs some wings back in his RB at the moment. Interesting. Is Bobo going to pit? Yes, he is. He's into the pit already. That's an early, and so is Formula W. So it's early
and
pit
Baby
stops.
Hornet.
Early pit stops. What are they going to go on to? The hards?
I'm going to keep an eye on that.
Yep. Keep an eye on that. Let's jump back up to Anton, who's 0.7 of a second behind Saviour. He is gaining, but not significantly. He gains at the top end of the speed. What are those tyres moving to?
Yep, they've all gone hard.
All gone hard, that'll take them probably, it's a 2-stop race, so probably put a set of mediums or a set of softs on at the end. Anton is gaining, he's going to make a move surely up into turn number 4. No, he doesn't, he stays behind, he's got enough of a gap back to Armagh Red as well. Michael Jackson now 2.5 behind the top 3.
Yeah, those gaps are starting to separate a little bit now, obviously with them guys pitting. But like you said, the undercut is powerful. The mediums do die fairly quick in that first stint.
Yeah, 21.2 seconds Formula W is behind his teammates, so let's keep that as our kind of metric here ultimately. Is Saviour going into pit? We will keep an eye if he does. Yes, he does. Saviour is pitting. Anton is not pitting. He is continuing. Armagh Red is pitting
as well.
And Michael Jackson is continuing on. So let's keep an eye on that. It's now down to 20 seconds. So already a second game by Formula W. Is he going to get out? We're on board with him just now. He's got Stoob just fractionally ahead of him, who pits as well. Drag King in the pits. Stoob in the pits. G-Star in the pits. 10-second penalty for Mini G-Star. Let's see. Formula W.
This is going to be so close.
This is, he's there, his teammate's there, and he's going to get out in front of him. It is an RB battle. Formula W, Saviour in front. Bobo is out in front of Armagh. On board with Bobo, is he going to make a move into the top of turn 3? No, he doesn't. So after the first round of pit stop, Simba, it is as you were.
In the sense of them, yeah, there's a few that have still to pit. The top, none of the top 7 have made a move yet.
Nope.
3 of them are on hards though, so I don't expect them to move anytime soon. Ant being the ultimate tyre whisperer, I do wonder how many more laps he can get.
He'll run out of tyres eventually. The more curious thing, and this is what I'm interested in, we're on board. Well, we're looking at
Rassam's coming in.
Yep,
He's given up.
Smith is on the hard compound tyres. He has those 2 RBs and 2 Alpines right behind him. And this is also going to allow Baby Hornet, given that he's potentially not got the pace of the fastest drivers out there, even though he is quick-ish. He's not ultra
You
quick.
couldn't just leave that, could you? You had to put an ish in there.
Well, I was just making comments. Saviour has passed Formula W. I think Smith has just decided to let them go. Which isn't a bad thing to do, although he has just kind of locked the 2 Alpines there. But this will allow Baby Hornet just to make up for some deficiencies in that Sauber. But let's see if Formula W comes anywhere near Saviour. No, he doesn't. Anton, if he pits now, Anton will come out behind Baby Hornet.
Oh, unfortunately, Smith's now causing a bit of a rolling roadblock for Baby Hornet.
I would have expected Baby Hornet of a drive. Oh, he's thingied the front wing! Has he made some damage there? Oh, let's try and see, because it might have been just the thing. Let's just see. No, he does seem to be okay.
Right.
He does. I just wondered if he'd potentially hit him there.
There was definitely a little bit of contact there. I don't think it was intentional, but...
No, agreed. So, let's have a look. So Saviour just 2 seconds behind this group of Dumbest Hornet and Samplan.
Yep, Saviour is closing onto the back of Dumbest Hornet as well, which will give him some DRS to help defend for a bit. Well, Dumbest Hornet being one of the top 4 that still haven't pitted, but he is on hards. He's not going to want to be looking at it till what, about lap 15, 16?
Yeah, I would go with that.
Probably 16, then do 2 stints of 10 laps on the mediums.
Yeah, the 2 RBs and the 2 Alpines are not really battling each other right now. And that's going to be the more interesting thing. I mean, you can see the grip differential between Dumbest Hornet and Saviour. TCO119 says, up the formula, we love to see the determination. That's just the determination in the commentary box. In the pits,
Dumbest Hornet,
he's pitting early. Let's see what they can do.
Is that just he wants to get out of the way of all the chaos coming up behind him, or has he overblown them tyres and is struggling big time?
Possibly. The 2 RBs have DRS. They are passing MJ, who's letting them through. Oh, and I'll tell you one thing. Oh, he's made contact with his teammate. Formula W goes into the side of Saviour coming into turn number 3. Contact between the two RBs, but he has let his teammate go ahead. That was an acknowledgement. He just braked a bit late. He was going right to the scene of the accident.
So much chaos at the moment, it's hard to keep up with it.
No, exactly. Samplan is the cork in the bottle again. Now Anton I can see Anton probably trying to drag this out for another 4 or 5 laps, hoping there's a safety car or some form of rain. It's cloudy, so it's getting a little bit more darker.
Will that bring Baby Hornet's favourite weather?
Samplan in the pits. So the hope that Saviour had for DRS, he does get it down the pit straight, but actually will not get it down from turn 1.
And Samplan gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh. No assists, no nothing. Let's have a look, because Bobo is having a look at Formula W and keeps it there just now. The two RBs and the two Alpines are really just playing this team game at the moment. Can't take your eyes off anything.
Can Baby Hornet get past Michael Jackson? He can.
He can indeed. It would have been a bit difficult if he couldn't.
And he loses it! I think he's recovered. Doesn't seem to be any damage.
I mean, that was a Lance Stroll moment for me. See if he watches this back, he will criticise me the next time he commentates.
Oh, and he gets a 3-second time penalty as well.
It does.
Along with Lorpy.
I'll tell you one thing.
Look at the penalties.
Formula W coming out of turn 10 there, really wide, but he's now built up. Ooh, he was just over the seconds, but he isn't anymore.
We've got Vitalso, Triz, Stube, Lorpy and Baby Hornet all with 3 seconds.
Jumping on board with Bobo, because Bobo's going to make a move on Formula W up into turn 3. Formula W moves to the right slightly, and Bobo, he's right behind, and he will get DRS, but he runs slightly deep there, forces the RB off at the top of the hill, and that's going to leave the RB exposed to Arma Red, who's moving down the outside of him. Is Formula W going to go from 3rd to 5th? Oh, bell wheel banging there in turn 4. They're still fighting together, looking from the rear of this Alpine. Is Arma Red going to sweep in as we go through 6 and 7? No, he doesn't. Well, he's still trying to keep it there. They're still trying to hang it together. They're still side by side, coming through the 7th for the moment, and then 7 through 8. Isn't they are still side by side? It's been side by side since the top of the hill. And finally, Arma Red takes it into 4th. I remember the last time 3 of us went wide in those sets of corners.
Oh yes, I so remember
Anton
that.
in the pits.
You and Mr. Hodgson trying to mug me on the way to turn 4, and it became a 3-wide battle all the way to turn 6.
It absolutely did. Anton is dropping. Lego Lancer says forced him off there, I think. Not sure though, so he's pinning his potentially to force them off there. I don't think it was. I think it was a fair racing. Baby Hornet Lance Stroll has got Anton right behind him. Millard, or Milsard, says big up Tom. Don't know who Tom is, but anyway. Right. Let's calm down, folks, for a little second. Championship leader, 2nd.
Let's hope so. The only other penalties were Sam Flam with 10 and BTEC G-Star with 10 as well.
Indeed. I'm gutted there's no fake Connor.
Maybe fake Connor can't do no assists.
Maybe. Although fake Connor did look like real Connor from his comments last night. So. But anyway, let's keep an eye on where we are. Anton is 7 seconds behind. The top 4 now separated by 2.7 seconds. It is an RB14, Alpine 2 and 3. Bobo now within half a second of Saviour. We're on board with him just now, but he's using all of his ERS. He is pretty much out of ERS. Saviour still has quite a bit remaining, so he is going to survive for another day. We've got a yellow sector at the top of turn number 1. One of the Mercedes, it's Rassam Mthio and Baby Hornet. Have they had some form of coming together potentially?
That's not going too well for Mr. Stroll in the wrong car, is it?
No. Formula W and Arma are just dropping off this battle. So again, you just wonder, was the DRS, were they staying in with the DRS, or Do they genuinely have the skill to keep up with these two?
Honest thought here, do we think Ant is going for a one-stop?
No. He will pit towards the end and put softs on.
Interesting option.
I think there will be a safety car towards the end. I will say lap 27.
And you definitely won't put softs on from there, then that'll be mediums.
Yeah, but if you went 27, safety car comes out. 28, 29 potentially. I mean, you could do 7. Well, yeah, true.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
No, that's true. Our Navy SEAL Morgan is in 13th and has just got another 3-second time penalty.
Penalties are racking up thick and fast now.
They are indeed. Yellow in sector 2, but it's one of the Hasses just letting through, so it's Vitalso letting Triz through. There's basically highs, hellos and everything in the race chat. Nels gets 3 seconds. GTS Drag King is, well, there's a decent little battle going on here. Sam Flan in GTS. Mediums against hards. And Sam Flan, is he going to try and keep it round turn 4? Nice and tight there. Oh, and he stays and he's going to actually just do it, is he? Yes, he is. Will he manage to keep it going through 5 then into 6 and 7? Yes, he does. So he's right behind the dumbest Hornet, who is 2 positions behind his brother.
So it has definitely calmed down after that round of pit stops, that's definitely for sure.
It needed to. I don't think we could have coped with 36 laps of that.
Well, the Bobo's tagging along the back of Saviour and he's not looking like he's going to drop off anytime soon. Formula's dragging hold of the back of Armour.
He is.
Ant seems to be closing in a little bit on Formula, but at a steady pace. Although
Yes.
saying that, it's just taken half a second out of him coming out of turn 3.
Oh, he's certainly made some good progress. 0.4 of a second. Bobo is now beginning to reel in Saviour, but let's have a look on board with him just now because he's just dropped the 6th. This is where I think he's got a slippier car, and Saviour's got a bit more downforce, which doesn't help Bobo actually in this track because he doesn't get close enough in that final sector to move or to have a move down into turn number 3.
Which you think with 3 DRS straights, you'd be able to go that little bit leaner, but Saviour's just got it in the corners where it matters. That's very early, 11 laps on hards.
He's going to, I mean, is he going to put hards on again?
No, he's got mediums.
Yeah,
15
that's not going to
laps
get
on
him to the
mediums,
end.
does he think he's Ant? He'd have to be the ultimate tyre whisperer to get to the end like Ant does.
I don't know if anyone would want to be Ant.
I mean, Ant must have done 17 because he's only done 4 on these hards.
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't think anyone would want to be him. Could you imagine what those tyres felt like? Ooh.
But they won't have been pleasant, that's for sure.
No. So again, right, Bobo coming in through 6 and 7 is 0.4 of a second behind. But now he starts to drift. Well, he's okay this lap. Oh, we got a yellow at the top of the hill. That's a GTB spec.
G-Start.
Yeah, BTEC G-Speed. Him, yes. Actually, Bobo's 7/10 of a second, so he is actually probably a couple of tenths quicker now and closer than he was before. So let's see. I'm going to jump back on board with him. G-Star 15th, Baby Hornet 46th, chasing Art Rasamufumio. Rumble Bobo is gaining, he's not gaining enough to make a move into turn number 3.
Yeah, the run to turn 4 is a little bit on the short side, it's easier to defend there.
Yeah, Saviour's got better traction. That's the thing I've noticed on a few laps of sitting on board with Bobo. Saviour has better. Oh, he locks up coming into turn 4. That's going to allow Bobo a little bit closer. So let's see what he does do. Anton is obviously kind of looking at Armour Red. Baby Hornet has passed Rassam Mufumio.
Oh, it's a Rassam trying to pass Baby Hornet.
Ah, there we go then.
But
well,
Simon's doing some great defending here.
He is indeed. Right, let's jump back up to the front. Bobo is coming into the pits. And Saviour isn't. Right, let's see what Bobo puts on because this is now getting interesting. This is where we're going to see, so 13 laps, mediums, will he do that? Or let's see.
Again, seems a little bit early.
Not the perfect angle, I think he's on hards.
He is on hards.
He is as well, right. So G-Star's in the pits, Baby Hornet's going in the pits. Now, let's have a look at Formula W. He's on the mediums.
Baby Hornet, 10-second penalty for speeding.
Lance Stroll.
What a sausage.
Yep. I'll tell you one thing. Formula W is 7 seconds behind Bobo. That medium hasn't helped him. He's not really got any pace from that. Be curious to see what happens. Anton Arma 4 seconds behind Xavier at the moment.
And is now within DRS range of Arma.
He is. Let's have a wee look at the back just as we go through Stub and Loppe. Stub's having a little look here at Loppe.
Xavier's pitted, Arma's pitting, and will now become the race leader temporarily.
As well. So I'll tell you one thing, let's keep an eye on Bobo, because will Bobo come out in front of Xavier? I think he will. It depends.
Xavier's got
Xavier's
fresh set
going
of mediums on, just
and
coming out of his box.
Arma Red's putting the hards on. And here comes Bobo coming down the pit straight. He's going to sweep into turn 1. He's going to get a better run. He is going to get ahead. Yes, he does. He is ahead of Xavier. But crucially, mediums versus hards.
Personally, I'd rather be on the hards with the amount of laps, and I found more pace on the hards. It was only really turn 6 where I had a little bit of a struggle with the hards. Everywhere else I felt much quicker.
Yeah, let's see what Xavier can do. He's within 0.4 of a second of Bobo. Dan and Stuber having a little battle to themselves. Baby Hornet down in 12th after he pitted. His brother's up in 8th. Formula W, who really was doing well, is just fallen away. I mean, he's now almost 10 seconds behind his teammate. He has really struggled in this second part of the race, which is unfortunate for him and his allegiance. But we're on board with Xavier now. I think this is going to be a overtake very shortly.
Let's have a quick look at the YouTube chat. C8 Lou says Xavier's a go. Johnny says hi Morgan. Like I've answered with pride. Connor Hardy, it's the purple burglar alarm.
The purple burglar alarm. Well, talking about purple burglar alarm, Xavier's just stolen the position from Bobo. There we go. No burglar alarm could have stopped that. Because he just took it.
I think he's forgetting which Scotsman I'm on comms with.
Yeah, not the other one.
You're not the one who struggles with these words.
Or any word.
Tarantula burger, curly whirly, purple burglar alarm.
Curly whirly. Xavier is currently de facto race leader, 12 seconds behind Anton, who hasn't yet pitted. Connor says none of them can say it. Oi, real Connor.
Well, Gav's just proved that he can say it, so...
Purple burglar alarm, tarantula burglar. Burglar? Tarantula burger. There you go. Curly Whirly is Xavier does a Curly Whirly into a 106.4, but Bobo is within half a second, so I think we're going to see another overtake here.
Yeah, these two could be fighting it out to the end. Rassam and Dumbest Hornet are both in the pit lane.
Yep, we're at Formula W.
See what they go on to. Rassam's going mediums. What's Dumbest Hornet doing?
Will the real Connor Hardy please stand up and race? Bobo.
You're joking, aren't you? He'd never race this team in a million years. Dumbest Hornet's going mediums as well.
I don't think he's raced tier 4, has he?
I know he raced Canada. Didn't go very well, but he did race it. He definitely didn't race Austria, though.
No, neither did I, though, to be fair, so I really probably shouldn't.
I wish I hadn't.
No, well, that's the other thing. I tell you one thing, right, and again, this is just my thoughts on it. Anton's got a 10 and a bit second lead. It's coming down at the rate of about 0.8 of a second a lap. There's 9 laps to go. You said he might try a one-stopper. And I was a little bit like, maybe not. But you might be true.
I wonder if he might. What he needs is Sabia and Bobo to go hammer and tongs at each other to slow him down a little bit.
Bobo's going to have a look as they come. No, he's not. So that everyone is really just cognizant of that third DRS zone that we're just coming into, that they don't want to seem to make the overtake. But the problem is they are still delaying each other. They're not really making that much progress towards Anton.
And Sabia's medium advantage, you do have an advantage for a few laps, but by about lap 5 or 6 it will start to drop off, which will probably slow the roll on them catching Ant, if Ant can keep his tyres alive, which we know is a big tyre whisperer. It may happen. Yeah,
well, the other Ferrari's in the pits, Dan, so he's going to be lapped, so not great for him. 9.6 now, 9.7 is
Somebody's had a bit of a moment in the middle sector. Who's that?
It's one of the Williams. King. Yeah, he's
B-Tech G-Star.
B-Tech G-Star, exactly. Formula W as well. He's now 17 seconds behind his teammate. He has truly fallen away. But I'll tell you the one who hasn't fallen away. We talked a bit about stealing. Bobo could very much, and he backs out. So he lifted the throttle because he was going to potentially pass Sabia before the DRS, but again, Sabia gets the better exit out of turn 3. Bobo's going to have to change his approach. He's going to have to just go for it.
Or is Bobo biding his time till Sabia's tyres start to struggle a little bit?
His ERS is 79%.
For Sabia to use his ERS.
Well, to be fair, Bobo's at 83, 79, 40% for Sabia. So it's still not a lot.
He's not got a lot, and if Bobo keeps forcing him to use it by feinting these moves, so Sabia stays ahead, it forces him to use his ERS. His tyres are going to degrade faster.
Yes.
Is it possible he's playing the longer game?
Possibly.
Like we see when the esports is on.
Yes.
You look at them, they make most of their moves in the last 2 laps.
Bobo's going for it now.
Stops in the last couple of laps. He's going to go for it this time though.
Yep.
He was too close not to. He was 2.5 tenths coming out of turn 1. He'd have had to turn the DRS off to avoid doing it.
Yeah. Let's see now what Sabia does in return, because I think Sabia is not going to be close enough this time as they come down into 4. No, he's not. But again, he will use the same position of he will just bring his ERS back into line. There's some blue flags up ahead. Bobo could really do with just staying behind them. Well, Millard, Formula W 44 equals 60. Well, at the moment, he's fallen away. I'll leave it at that.
Massively, he's 12 seconds behind. On 8 lap mediums, Armar's on 5 lap hards, so Armar's going to the end, no doubt. Formula, if he gets to the end, is going to be on tyres that are crying.
Yeah, but this is my point. Formula W was showing the pace in qualifying early part of the race, and he's just fallen away.
He seems to destroy his tyres a little too quickly.
Yeah. Bobo's had DRS from the blue flags in front of him, won't have it now, and Sabia has just been saving his ERS. And I'll tell you what, Bobo ran a little bit wider coming at the top of the hill there. This is going to allow Sabia. He's using his ERS slightly. Is he going to make a move? He's not. He's going to kind of keep it just
he's going to play the long game and just sit there.
Anton.
Another penalty for Michael Hornet Jr.
Anton is not pitting.
No, he's not.
Now,
he's going to try and hang this out to the end. If he pits now, he's going to come out probably ahead of Formula.
Yeah, he'll come out 4th.
And then he's got to try and fight his way back.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Through Armar, through Sabia, through Bobo, if he wants to win. His only possibility of getting this win now is to stay on track, hope Bobo and Sabia slow each other down and can't catch him too quickly, which at the rate they're doing, I don't think they're going to catch him.
They're not,
if he can keep them tyres alive. Because
Anton's actually increasing the gap slightly. Oh, we got a yellow at the top of the hill. We've got a Williams that's... Oh, it's a safety car! Or is it virtual? I can't see. It's a virtual. But Sabia got past Bobo right before the safety car, the VSC happened. Oh! G-Star is disqualified. He spun himself at the top of the hill. No safety car. It is a VSC. And Saviour is ahead. This is absolutely perfect for Anton.
If he wants to pit, this is his time. But if that VSC ends while he's in the pit lane, it could be catastrophic.
It is. Let's have a look at him. Is he contemplating it? That car's been removed.
He's not coming in.
No, he's not. Saviour and Bobo, this is not what they needed. I mean, I said to you, safety car lap 27. Okay, I was a little bit later and it's a virtual safety car, but it just shows you how quickly this can turn on a wheel.
If that had been a full safety, I suspect Ant would have come in.
I think they all would have.
But however, on the virtual, you've got every opportunity.
There is.
It's ended. He would have probably just been exiting the pitch right now.
And this doesn't help Bobo, ironically, because that's allowed Saviour to recharge his battery. Formula W gets 3 seconds. He's really not had a great tail end of this race. But this has not worked out. Bobo was going for the 3 of 3. He's not going to get 3 of 3, but at the moment he's getting 3rd. Well, but it's where that balance comes.
It will be 3.
Well, it will be a 3, yeah. Just not 3 in a row of first place.
Nah, I suspect Ant's got this under lock now. If he can make them tyres hold out, which he's got over 8 seconds, Bobo's going to be pressuring Saviour. Saviour's tyres are going to be screaming a little bit now. He's on 8-lap mediums. They're not going to feel great.
No, they're not. And Arma Red hasn't really managed to come back at Bobo and Saviour at all. So, considering we were thinking Saviour and Bobo were going to be the battling for the win, they're now going to have to just do qualifying laps. But the problem is, you've got, 4 laps. They need to eat 2 seconds a lap. And they're not going to do 2 seconds a lap.
Bobo needs to get past Saviour and Scarpa fast.
He does. Is he going to do it now, though? Let's see. No, he doesn't.
Oh, is Ant going to manage what Lewis Hamilton couldn't at the weekend? Considering he's got a Hamilton-inspired helmet, I'm 100% sure of that.
I think that instantly is a disqualification. Bobo...
Well, it's bright yellow. He's in a Ferrari. That is definitely Hamilton-inspired.
Yeah. No,
although, speaking of which, Bobo's looks like Lewis's old McLaren helmet.
Yep.
The darker yellow. We've got another virtual, haven't we?
We do.
I've got full track yellow.
We've got a safety car. The safety car is coming out. Is Anton going to pit? He is. Anton's pitting. It's Saviour.
I do not blame him at all.
And so is Bobo. If your Arma's pitting as well, this has just thrown this race into chaos because this safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap.
The thing is, you can't not pit.
No, you can't, but...
If you didn't pit, you would be absolutely mugged on the restart.
You 100% would.
2 laps, you would not hold off people on fresh softs.
No, you wouldn't.
Your only hope would be that the pack doesn't close up, which it is likely going to. Because the safety car waits before turn 3, which means that a lot of people are going to close up and follow the safety car.
Yeah.
It's only those right at the back that may not catch.
Wow. So we're going to have, if the safety car comes in at the end of this lap, which it should, we will have 1 lap of DRS. 2 laps, 1 of DRS.
That's certainly going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons for this restart. I mean, Formula's out of contention. He's got 6 seconds of penalties. MJ's got 10. Baby Hornet's got 6. Stubbs got 6. Lorpy 6. Samplan 3.
Rassam's retired. The safety car is
3. Triz is 3. And Vitalso is 6. So yeah, we're just now...
I mean, this is all or nothing.
Everyone but Seb Mail is on softs, and I don't think Seb's in control of his car.
Yeah. I mean, Arma could win this, Anton could win this, Saviour could win this, Bobo could win this, Formula W won't win it, Michael Jackson
any of them
won't
top
win
4 are in with a shot.
Yep. G-Star is just making it to the this group. Baby Hornet has just made it to this group. This is going to be...
Dumbest Hornet's about to join this group.
He is. This is going to be...
He's going.
He's gone, yeah, exactly. And he's kind of caught Saviour slightly there. Remember, it's 2 racing laps, 1 of DRS. The final lap will be a DRS fest. They've got good ERS saved up. Stoop gets another 3 seconds. Here we go. Final lap, 1.1.
Catching Saviour out there, he's 1.2 seconds ahead already. He is literally scampering away.
Yes, Wookie turns up in his Lando Norris helmet. Samplan gets 3 seconds, still 1.2 seconds. Bobo 0.7 of a second behind Saviour. So his opportunity is pretty much gone. He needed to make a move this lap. We've got a spinner at the top of the hill. It's Dumbest Hornet, the most senior of the Hornets, has spun and is falling down into 12th place.
I think Armar's going to have to accept 4th.
Yep.
The only possible battle here is Saviour Bobo. Scampered away, unless he makes a mistake now. He's got that locked out. Because Saviour's not going to get DRS.
Nope.
Bobo is going to get DRS.
But only in 2 parts of the track.
Which means, obviously, Saviour is going to spend more time defending than attacking.
Bobo ran really wide at the end, and I wondered if he would potentially have a track limits there, but if he did, he hasn't got a track limits penalty. Let's have a look.
He must have had some warnings available.
Yep, so we're looking from the back of Saviour. 0.6 of a second. It's going down and down and down.
He's going to have one opportunity at this.
Yeah, Bobo gets a nice exit out of turn 3. This is going to allow him.
He got a nice turn, maybe not so good on the exit though.
Yeah, let's see. He's gaining. Saviour, is he going to make a move? No, he doesn't. That is it. That is his opportunity gone. Anton has survived somehow. I did say it would be a safety car. Bob was trying to have a move up into 6. Fainted the move there. But the Tier 0 leader of the championship at the moment is not going to win a 3rd straight race. It's going to go to the man from Spain in the Ferrari. Unless he absolutely messes it up coming through the final 9 and 10. Bobo runs wide as well coming through 9, but Anton is going to take a victory that wasn't looking possible until that safety car. 2nd for Saviour, 3rd for Bobo. Armar Red comes through 4th. Formula W comes way at the back. Michael Jackson gets 10th penalty. G-Star takes 5th. Formula W is 6th. Baby Hornet has taken 7th. Stub in the Navy has taken, well, now 11th. Loppy 9th. Sam Flan is in 10th. Ant says he wears the number 20. Is that supposed to be significant?
Not sure.
No. If you're going to make these comments, Ant, you need to at least give some context. Remember, this is a professional outfit. Commentary team. Only the best.
Well, we try to be anyway.
Exactly. Hey, I've never got hyper. Which is a positive. Few moments. I will say this though. His podium celebration is okay. I can deal with that. The phone one I can't deal with. But anyway, Anton takes a victory out of Tier 0. Saviour 2nd, Bobo 3rd. Probably not what we would have expected halfway through the race. The disappointing factor, if anything, was the second drivers in the Alpine and the RB falling away. I think Armor Red did better, but Formula W just drifted away completely. So driver of the day goes to In the Navy Stoop. Most overtakes is In the Navy Stoop. Cleanest drivers Armor Red. Fastest lap Anton. Race winner Anton with his heart emoji. There we have it. So 4th was Armor Red, G-Star finished 5th, Formula W finished 6th, 7th was Baby Hornet, 8th was Michael Jackson, 9th was Loppy, Samplan finished 10th, Stub in 11th, Dumbest Hornet in 12th, Smith in 13th, Dan in 14th, 15th was Nels, 16th was Triz Vitali, Petrov was 17th, Sebmil 18th, and Rafamio was last because he DNF'd in the pit lane. Well, that was exciting.
Certainly was, especially that first stint. That was just action upon action upon action.
Yeah, that was just superb. So yeah, all good fun. Simba, thank you. Been a long while, but a good race to return jointly to.
hopefully it's not too long before our next adventure together.
Exactly. Next out is Tiers 1 and 2 on Monday. Tiers 2, 7 o'clock. Tier 1, 20:45 UK time. Wednesday is Tier 3 and Tier 4. Tier 3, 1900, 7 PM. And Tier 4 is 20:45. And then next Thursday is Tier 0 again. Where are we racing next week?
We are at the wonderful home of the British Grand Prix that is Silverstone.
Ooh, don't like that circuit. I'm very slow.
As it is the British Grand Prix this weekend.
It is indeed.
Have you noticed that the Grand Prix are trying to line up a little bit with the real life?
They are indeed. Although it is going to be a little bit cold and it could mean rain. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been an interesting evening, lots of overtakes, lots of action. A winner who comes from France but was Spanish and flies under a British flag. He won in the Ferrari. It was a second place for Xavier and a third place for Bobo, our championship leader. The Alpines might still lead constructors after this race. But from both Simba and myself, have a lovely evening.
Good night.